Then,
Yeah.
okay. Um, and then if I can't turn my light on because if I do, it flickers. So I'm going to just sit
Mhm.
closer. And then is it possible for you to sit a little bit further away? Just so that, yeah, so we can see
Yeah,
your
it's
whole
like
face.
equal heads. Yeah.
Yes. So, well, it won't be equal heads, but at least so that it's not cutting off your head. Um,
Yeah.
so maybe now I'm interviewing you, but
Yeah.
I think this is really good content for socials or even for YouTube. So you're an online trainer in the UK.
Yeah, personal trainer in person and an online coach as well.
Okay, cool. And you said that you found out that most online trainers aren't even trained, don't have
Yeah, so
qualifications.
sadly, yeah, I did a mentorship and I could see that we all turned up for the webinar to learn the topic of the week on strategy or something. And one of the ladies said, "Oh, we don't say that everyone needs to be personal trainer qualified. You can get that certificate if you want to." But I was just shocked that that was their general advice. That
That's
I assumed
crazy.
everyone had been a personal trainer for years and they were just trying to get off the gym floor and move online. For me, it's
Yeah,
helped me coach better because then I don't just see somebody for one day. I see them, throughout the week. Every day I can help with nutrition, habits, exercises. So
yeah,
it's amplified my coaching. But I was just shocked that half these coaches, they see it as a business, but then they're missing their personal training background.
yeah. And
Um,
that's so important. I know when I broke my ankle years ago, like let's say 15 years ago, broke my ankle. And I went to the doctor afterwards who did the operation and he said, "Oh, no, you're fine. You can just keep going." And I said, "Surely I should see a physio." And he's a physiotherapist. And he said, "No, I fixed it. You'll be fine." Arrogant doctor. And I was like, "No, but surely." Anyway, I went to see a physiotherapist,
good.
and she recorded me walking and running away, and I had to wear very tight clothing. And she showed how my body was compensating for
Mhm.
that broken, how I and how I'd lost muscle. And I thought, if I'd never gone to a physio, a
Mm.
trained person, I would never have known that those imbalances were there. And then
Yeah.
she helped me correct that, which would have prevented hip issues or back issues later down the line.
Exactly.
So it's so
Yeah.
important that
Yeah, and that's
people are
that's the sort of
qualified.
thing that as a trainer, here's my cat.
Hello.
Hello.
Cute.
Yeah, as a trainer, obviously when you are seeing people in person for years, you pick up on those things as well. So you're using general movement all the time to help people with balances. And that's what blows my mind about online coaches. They haven't had that experience. So how would they know these
Yeah.
little essential, corrections for people? So
Yeah.
that was crazy. That was a
Um,
crazy
do, so
moment.
it is crazy, but it is good to know that you've got 20 years of personal training. Liz, something that blows my mind is I'll see your videos and I'm just amazed at the energy you have. And I think about women, and I think about especially like perimenopausal women, look at that and just go, "Oh, I can't. I can't." How do you do it?
So actually, I wanted to do some content on how tired I've been feeling. So it's changed a
Okay.
lot for me. So I competed in CrossFit for 7 years in South Africa. So I was pushing myself all the time. And when I moved to London 7 years ago, I noticed that I just could not recover anymore. So I was late 30s. And I just couldn't keep it up. And I realized I had to look into that whole thing. So I did my yoga teacher training. I was trying to. There was so much stress, more stress in London and competition, and like I realized that I just wasn't recovering because my nervous system was taking on too much, all the time.
Mm,
That led me down this road of becoming a holistic coach. So I always like to understand my clients' cortisol levels, their stress, their lifestyle, like things that you were saying about taking on too much, habits like that. So it's not just looking at how you're feeling in your body, but how much you're taking on and how we can help you find balance because then you'll have those pockets of energy to exercise and do the things that you want to do.
mm,
So it's like readjusting your life now to make it work for you instead of trying to fit something in a circle in a square hole.
Yeah. Or just trying to push on, like people just say, you
Yeah.
just got to get up. You got to get up at 4 a.m. Then if you don't have
Yeah.
time, then just fit it in. And it
Yeah.
doesn't
At our,
work
at
for
our
us at
age,
our age.
we can't fight against our hormones right now. It's about becoming more compassionate and easing into that stage a bit more. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's almost like backing off for a period, focusing maybe on nutrition, rest, getting the right supplements in, a bit of more balance,
Yeah.
and then putting in shorter workouts. So yeah, when you see me doing
Okay.
that stuff on Instagram, it's much shorter than I used to do, and it's much lighter than I used to do. So for me, and then I would take me
Oh,
2 days to recover.
interesting. Yeah. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. So, so would you, because for a lot of women in perimenopause, well, a lot of doctors recommend weight training.
Mm.
Um, so do you think your approach would be lighter weights than, say, a doctor would recommend, or?
So my approach is based on the most recent research and also what is working for people. So there's a lady called Dr. Stacey Sims. You might be interested to look at her. She's phenomenal. She's the only exercise scientist and athlete that has been looking at women only, which is great. Yeah, so this it's brand new research in the world of sports science, basically over the past couple of years, only looking at women because a lot of all studies were done on men primarily, and women were secondary.
Mm,
So the data just was not correct for us. So what has been shown to really work for our hormones, immune system, energy, all sorts, is to build muscle because we start to lose muscle past the age of 30. Something like 1% every year or something, a bit scary. So it's really important that we do build muscle to protect our bones, keep our immunity. It does have a balancing effect on our hormones, so it helps with that side of things. And then you get more energy as well. So yes, strength training. And then in terms of load, it has to be an amount that will give a response from the body. So for myself, I've got a background of strength, so I'll probably take a heavier load than most people will start at. So that's what I also assess with my clients, like what's their starting point, how much load is going to be, create a response in the body. Because if it's easy on the 10th rep, for example, your body's not going to respond. It doesn't need to, it's not working. It
yeah.
has to be, we say like the last 2 reps should be challenging in order for then the body to build muscle and respond.
Okay.
So the
Yeah.
prescription is the exercise prescription, we call it, is 2 to 3 times a week of strength training that's progressive. So it gets harder in different ways over time that works for your body. I would put in stability work in there as well. And then a couple of sessions of zone 2 cardio. So that kind of low effort cardio that's not too,
Like
it does,
walking.
yeah, walking, you should be able to talk, have a conversation easily. So a light
Okay.
jog, fast walk, something like that. Um, and then, because then that doesn't spike our cortisol. Um, and then
Mm,
something we really have to look at recovery. So you can do longer runs as well, but those 2 things should be in there, and then some cardio that you prefer. What is a big no is the kind of F45 hit classes. Our age used to think that skinny was it, and we had to die at the end of every class, and feel really exhausted. So not that because our hormones just go all over.
yeah. And I think that was something I found really tricky, is because I was a runner,
Mm,
and I like the kind of exercise where I want to vomit at the end. I've
yeah,
done so
me too.
much,
Me
not
too.
strength, like I mean like cardio, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
So yeah, so I've struggled making the adjustment to one. I can't run anywhere because my hips and my knees
Mm.
complain.
Oh.
Um, but the slow like weight stuff. My sister's tried to do that with me because she was a fitness instructor, and her big thing is weights. But she's not, she's a dietitian, but she knows from her own training. And I said to her, this is too boring. I can't do this. Because
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but you do these heavy sets, and then you got to wait 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't have time for that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, good news is with the training that has been prescribed now, recommended. I skipped out the bit. We should be doing 30 seconds of high intensity, so kind of like you want to vomit
Okay.
type of intensity
Okay.
for 30 seconds and then rest for a minute or so. So that's
Okay.
our
That
interval
sounds
training.
doable.
Yeah, you see, you can
Yeah.
try and adapt it a little bit.
Yes. Yeah. Whereas my sister would be like, "Nah, I'm not doing the high intensity shit." It's just the personal preferences. Hey.
Yeah, exactly. So so in terms of your strength, post seeing the physio and everything, do you still do any exercise, strengthening at the moment for your rehab?
Oh, it's okay. So that was like 15, 16 years ago.
Ah,
Yeah, yeah. I was just, I suppose, supporting your argument for having a
yeah.
professional, somebody who's trained
Thank you.
in
Yeah.
weights or whatever, or the body. So now I'd walk, and then I do gym sessions, which I've started recently.
Oh, good.
I don't do it the way my sister does it though. I go on the machines
Hmm.
and I'll do like do with the idea that the last two are heavy, are hard. Do
Mm-hmm.
like 10 sets, 10 reps, I think. Is
10
that
reps.
10
Yeah.
reps on one machine? And then I'll move to the next one.
Mm.
If I've got a little bit of patience that day, I'll stay on that machine, wait a minute, and then do the next 10 and try go heavier.
Mm.
And that's from the advice of my sister, but
Mm.
she has told me to not listen to her, that I should listen to, because you'll know what you're talking about now. Her training is 20 years old. And then I do try a little bit of running, light jogging,
Mm.
and just squats, and not squats, lunges and things like that. And then also we have something here called the Whitford stairs, which I can't remember how many stairs it goes up, but it's,
Wow.
let's say, 200 stairs. You go all the way up and then walk or run round, and then I just do that, which is a not like heavy impact like running. I
Yeah.
must say I would love to
Incredible.
get back into running, but I don't know if that's going to happen for me, given how uncomfortable it is for my hips and my knees.
Hmm. Is it like a sharp pain that you get, or is it like an ache afterwards?
No, it's an ache.
Hmm.
And
I
then
mean, yeah.
like if I sit, which I sit to work, and then if I sit and work for a while to get up, I get up like this. And
Yeah.
then I'm a bit scrunched over for a little while. An old person.
Oh,
So that's why but if I don't run, I can do all those other things I can do without getting the same hip problems.
okay. Oh, that's interesting. It's an ache, so there might be some things in there with nutrition and having like omega-3. I've just found out recently is just is such a powerful, anti-inflammatory. So there could be something with
Yeah.
diet that could really help with that. So maybe don't count out the running days just yet because you never know.
Okay, good to know. Good. Tick. Yeah.
So if you were
So you,
to, sorry, carry on.
no, you go.
If you were to do some work with me now, what would you like your focus to be? What would be your goals?
So Liz, before perimenopause, even if I didn't exercise or didn't diet, I've always been relatively slim.
Mm,
I've never had a problem with weight until
yeah.
perimenopause. And also I've always been quite muscular,
Mhm.
just naturally muscular. And perimenopause, I've lost a lot of that.
Mm,
And not that I mind losing a bit of muscle, because I sometimes at times felt like it was a bit too much. It's hard to explain. I was a gymnast when I was younger, so I
wow.
didn't mind losing, but now I've lost too much.
Yeah.
So I would like to tone up again. I don't want to be skinny. I don't actually want to be any slimmer than I am. I like a strong woman.
Mhm.
Um, so I would like to look like I can help you through an apocalypse, and not like get you on the catwalk. you know,
Love
even though
it.
those days are gone. Yeah, that my aim was not weight loss at all.
Mhm.
It's just strengthening and toning.
Okay, great. Just be a functional, strong lady.
Yes, yes.
Good. And then what kind of thing? So you're going to the gym. What do you do when you're at the gym at the moment? Do you do dumbbells, barbells? Or you said just the machines. Do you ever go near the free weights at all?
Only when I'm with my sister,
Right.
because I don't really know what to do. The
Hmm.
machines I feel like are easy,
Yeah. Yeah.
and there's pictures.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You've really got a basic starting position, I'm sorry, with me.
And I'm guessing that your diet is pretty good.
It's pretty good. It could be better.
Hmm.
Again, I know that I did message you and say, hey, I do work with a dietitian because my sister's a dietitian.
Mm.
But my sister said not to listen to her. I should rather listen to you because if you're working with me with weights and stuff, you'll have a better idea of what I should be consuming than she will because she doesn't know my
Yeah.
gym program, whatever, which I thought was good advice.
That's very, yeah, very open and cool of her. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when I would sign someone up, the package includes nutrition as well. So you would get a nutrition plan, some recommended meal plans. We check in every week to see how that is going for you. So we talk about your recovery, your sleep, your stress levels, how you're feeling in your body. So we're just making sure that the macros that we set, so your carbs, your fat, your protein, are adequate for you, and then that you're feeling good. So week by week, we sort of check in. How does that
Can
sound?
I, yeah, that sounds awesome. Okay, so there's two things I wanted to say. One is for the purposes of anyone who watched this. I think it's awesome that you approach this holistically. It's not just food, it's not just exercise, but that it's also the stress in your life and what's happening in your life. So important because I might not be able to fit in the things that you're asking me to do.
Mm.
But also I might not be aware of things that are driving up my cortisol. And in
Hmm.
having the conversations, it
Yeah.
becomes clear, which is also really good. What I do want to say is I've never been the kind of person to, because I've never been a dieter. I find things like as soon as I have to weigh something,
Mm.
I switch off. I'm like, that's too hard. I'll just
Hmm.
eat whatever I want. But I find it easier to say, like, if you eat a palm size
Yeah.
of carbs, or you know what I mean, that I'm like, okay, I can do that, but I'm not going to get up the
Yeah.
scale, and or maybe I'll start off excited and do it for a day or two, then I'll be like, I don't
Mm.
have time for this.
Yeah.
So I think it's good to know that about me.
Yeah. Well,
I'm
I'm
not saying I'm
yeah.
not doing what you're telling me. I'm saying that's if you could factor that in, that would be very helpful.
No, funny enough, I'm exactly the same. I have no patience for that. I always did sports, maybe, for enjoyment. So I'm lucky in that way. Not everyone is like that. Um,
Yeah,
so I never wanted stuff to feel like a chore or like, more of a stress. So I don't want that for my
yeah,
clients either. So some people actually thrive off that kind of meal prep and numbers, that kind of personality type. So then
yeah,
I'll recommend they do that. That's great because it keeps them on track and they kind of enjoy it. I'm total opposite. I like my freedom and I like to just know what I'm having, but make it
yeah,
manageable for my brain, because I don't want it to feel stressful. So yeah, the palm method is a great one. So you have a palm of protein and a fist of carbs and a fist of veg. And then that's a general. Another way to do it is you have your top three items. So your top three proteins, top three um, carbs that are wholesome, whole grain or sweet
yeah,
potato, etc. And then kind of three veg as well. And you just rotate them in your meals. So you're keeping it simple for yourself. But then you've got that
yeah,
freedom, we call it flexi dieting. So you've got that freedom to mix it all up however you want, and have a treat as
yeah,
well. It's going to fit into your macros,
yeah,
because you're active. So that's no problem. And with the
yeah,
workouts, I don't say that everyone has to do an hour. I've got plenty of mums who are at home and they've got kids. They've got 20 minutes probably to do something. So just giving
yeah,
them a structured movement for 20 minutes is better than nothing. So they're already winning.
yeah,
But, we really focus on like what you are achieving, not trying to be this perfect idea of somebody that doesn't exist.
yeah. Okay, that sounds good. Um, I did want to also say that I do keto
Mm,
like every 2 weeks out of every six-ish.
mm.
Um, I
Oh,
would love if we could factor that in,
absolutely.
if possible. I don't want to push you too far out of your usual what you usually do, but I think it might be good as well for other people who do keto
Fantastic.
to see
Yeah.
how to uh, fuel themselves. Because that's
Absolutely.
one thing I do struggle with keto is
Mm.
understanding. how to fuel myself properly because I usually get a sugar spike
Mm.
when I exercise because I don't really know. I haven't figured out yet the right food to eat before I exercise.
Yeah, I can
Um,
understand that. Yeah. But the thing with keto is if you're doing it long term, like for example, if you fast for 24, 36 hours or more, your body turns to more ketogenesis. So you're training your body to have more enzymes for that process. So with keto, you're feeding yourself more fat. So your body should adjust to burning down fat a little bit faster than normal. So it's interesting that you're doing for 2 weeks. So you're kind of entering that process, but then out of it. It could be good
well,
because then it means you're good at both using carbs
yeah,
and fat. So that's probably good. But yeah, we'll just have to look at maybe what you eat the previous night so that your body's ready with
yeah.
something for the workout.
Well, I do low carb. Generally in life,
Yeah,
day to day is low carb. So it's keto, low carb,
right.
keto.
Okay.
And it's more because I find the keto helps with brain fog, but
Mhm.
also it helps with brain fog. It also helps me stick with low carb, weirdly.
Mm,
Um, and then it helps with energy and
yeah.
migraines. So it's
And
useful for me to try and do if I can.
I think it'd be useful in general as well because I think one thing that women are scared of is high fat, but actually from our healthy fats, we get so much that's good for our hormones and stability and energy. So yeah, it sounds like it's a
Yeah.
really good method that you've got going.
So
Um,
tell me, when you meet with someone,
mhm.
what is the process? Like how long do you see them for? What is the process? How do you think about them?
So for online coaching,
Yeah,
we meet for a call like this, about 30 minutes long, and I find out all about their lifestyle, things that we've discussed, to then go off and make the plans specific for them. Um, they come with me with their specific dietary requirements, like you're doing now, any kind of injuries that I can focus on in the plan. So I make sure I pop exercises in for that. And then there's forms like you saw, there's a form to fill in every week, which people would put their photos in. So we're kind of keeping track on how they're looking, how they're feeling in their body. Not everybody likes to do that. And of course, I wouldn't enforce that, but it can be
yeah,
just
that's
really,
not something I would feel
right.
comfortable with.
That's fine. So
Um,
you don't, of course, you're not going to
yeah,
have to do anything at all. For people that want to
yeah,
see a
yeah,
change in composition in their body, it can be a nice way to look back
yeah.
and feel that. Um, and
I
then
think, sorry, for me, the goal is how I feel,
yeah,
not how I look. Even though the
okay,
toning is a look, but
yeah, but
it's
it's a side effect almost, isn't it, of how you're feeling when you're doing all of that stuff.
yeah. And I imagine that when I'm toned, it'll be easier to stand up. It's easier to quickly grab something. It's easier
Yeah,
it's you know what I mean. But anyway,
yeah.
I might change my mind. Sorry, carry on. I interrupted you.
No, not at all. So we talk about all those things, and then in the form also it gives me information on what you have been eating for 3 days or so. Um, I then go away and I recommend meal plans, a macro balance for you. And then we do suggest using MyFitnessPal just for a few days in that first week, something to track your food just to help. It's like the educational period. So like you say, it's a bit overwhelming to do that long term for some people. But in that first few days, if you're changing how you eat, it might just be helpful to keep track of how much you're having. So then if you notice you're way over on the recommended carbs, you can just say, okay, I won't have that last bit, the extra potato or
Mm.
whatever it is. So it's just a way to
It,
get into a habit. We're trying to
mm.
just build new habits.
So I have the Lumen. Do you know about the Lumen?
No.
It's a device that comes with an app. I think that's similar to my Fitness Pal.
Hmm.
Would I be able to use that, or do you
Yes.
need? Okay,
Yeah. Anything that tracks food. Yeah. Anything that
yeah.
you're comfortable with.
The Lumen is amazing, by the way, if you want to look into it.
Yeah, definitely. How do you
It's a
spell it?
device you breathe into it, Lumen,
Ah,
and
yeah.
it measures your metabolism from your breath. It's fascinating.
Amazing. Amazing. Okay, I'll definitely look into that.
Yeah.
And that just sounds
Um,
more fun than the other one.
Oh, it is actually fun because it tells you where you are in
Yeah.
fat burning mode.
Yeah.
And then it says, oh, you need to have a low carb day today. And then it
Mm,
tells you what you could eat to
wow.
have a low carb day. So I mean, I won't listen to that. I won't take its dietary advice, but it is fascinating to see how your body is burning or metabolizing.
That's
And
amazing.
then yeah, you can also record. It's got recipes and things, and then you can also record what you're eating, but also the exercise and stuff that you're doing.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I think that would be make life a lot easier if you get into the habit of that for sure.
Yeah,
Kind of ticks a lot of boxes that. So then if you're way over on sugar, then you'll it will just obviously tell you and
yeah.
you can okay, fantastic. It's a good way to scare people into it, isn't it?
Well, it is actually. So sometimes it's a scare, and then other times it's a positive motivator because you're
Yeah.
like, oh, look how good I'm doing. I can carry on doing that.
Fantastic. So then I'll definitely look into that. I might contact them. They sound really, really interesting. Is that an Australian thing?
I actually think it might be a UK thing.
Wow. So interesting.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
then maybe it's not a UK thing. Um, yeah. Lumen. Is it
Um,
Australian?
so yeah, so once we have gone through those
Do
size
you
of
know?
things. Oh, is it you finding out what it is?
Sorry.
Mhm.
Um, you know what? I thought I thought it was called something else, but I it was I thought I was remembering the name of that Apple show that anyway, no, it is called a lumen. It's a lumen metabolism tracker.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, cool. Anyway, sorry, I'm back. Now I've got wait, actually I've lost you. I've got to find your
My little face.
there it is. Okay, cool.
So once we've gone through the forms and we've sort of got on track with, that you're happy with the training plan that I've set and the diet, then you go for it and you spend a week and every week we have a check-in. There's another check-in form and that gives me an idea of where you're at, what you're struggling with, what you're finding good. And that's how we proceed. So each week we check in and check that you're aligned with your goals. And of course, that's what's very useful. And I'd say is um, the constant communication between us is great because, like I said, when you just see somebody once a week, it doesn't then help you with the mindset coaching of how to change habits, and habits are the hardest thing to change, in people. So,
Yeah.
so that will be it. So I'm excited that you might be interested. Did you want to think about working with me, or are you keen?
And I'm very keen.
Great.
I'm keen. I'm
Um,
scared, but keen.
so what might help me then to start is if I'll send you the form again to fill in. It would just then you can think in your own time of if you have some specific goals, like you've mentioned about the tone. But if anything else comes to mind, you can just pop that in. But I think I've got a general good idea of where you're at and where you'd like to be. Sounds like you're in a fantastic place. So it's
Sorry, hold
getting you a
on.
bit stronger. No
Sorry,
worries.
sorry, guys. Would you mind moving a little bit that way? Sorry, I just my mic picks up everything. Sorry, Liz. This mic picks up everything, and people are talking behind me. Sorry.
No, no worries. I can hear them a little bit. Um, what was I going to say? Yeah, well, you can just have a think through if there's any other goals that come to mind or anything um after this chat that you think of that you want to chat about again. You can fill in the form, book in our
Okay.
next call,
Okay.
and then I'll also send you an invite to the app that we'll be working through, and you can set that
Okay.
up in the meantime,
Okay.
and then we'll
How,
kind of reconvene if that sounds good.
mm, how many hours or how much time per day do you think it involves?
Oh, not much at all. So the workout itself could be half an hour if you want, or it could be an hour. Um,
Mm,
if you're going to the gym, I recommend the hour because then you can take your time
yeah.
and enjoy yourself, not rush
Yeah.
through it. So if you do have the time, that would be nicer. I'll definitely keep it interesting for you. We'll do a mix of machines and putting some free weight stuff in there as well. because it will be more
Okay.
interesting for you. And I think maybe our minds are quite similar in that way. I try and keep it interesting. I wouldn't give you two exercises and a 2 minute rest. We'll keep it moving because I
Okay.
also want to learn
Good.
that. I don't train like
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
And that's in an ideal world, if we're doing bodybuilding, that's great, but we're not from that mindset. We're more from like a sports
Mm,
functional fitness mindset. So we'll keep it as such. And hopefully you'll enjoy learning a couple of new movements. Um,
yeah.
and yeah, just give me feedback on how they're feeling. If you need coaching cues, you can always send me a video or a message in the app or on my WhatsApp to ask me to check a video, and I'll just give you, coaching cues on how it looks or how to move better in that movement.
Okay.
So we're always in touch like that. You can chat on there. And then with the food, you're not really changing anything. You're just, or you could be changing something, but it's a kind of gradual learning process. So
Mm,
I'd say like 1 or 2 weeks just to get into the rhythm of things and seeing if you like it.
okay.
And then
Awesome.
just the other thing I touch on is mindset. So you sound like you're quite kind of balanced in yourself and you know yourself quite well. But what I would say is one thing that can help our hormones is just finding that kind of gentle, calm mind headspace throughout the day. So if you have something that you turn to for that, whether it's yoga nidra or a bit of yin yoga, walk at the beach, some time where it's just your time. I try and ask my clients to do about 10 minutes of that per day just to
Mm,
keep things calm as well.
yeah, I'm a meditator.
Fantastic. Okay.
Yes.
When do you do that? In the morning or the evening?
Yes. Morning. Too
Brill.
tired in the evening. Want to sleep
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So you've got that covered. Great. Well, I'm
Mm.
excited to work with you.
So, Liz, if people see this,
Yeah.
how can they get hold of you?
Great question. Thank you. So the best way is through my Instagram, and my handle is lmfit_trainer. And I have
Okay.
links on there to book a call or complete my client form or just DM me. I'll get straight back to you. And we would start with just a casual chat, like an intro chat, no obligation. I'm not really big on hard sales, so I want to work with people that want to work with
Yes.
me.
Yeah, yeah,
Hence, being from a personal training background, not a business, not a an online business background.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, then we get to know each other and we'll see if it's going to be the right way. I would say that anyone that wants to work with me allow for 30 days to 3 months to see some change. So have
Mm,
that in your mind. And
yeah.
usually I would say people end up saving money because they start saving money on takeaways, going out, nights out,
Mm.
snacks along the way. So it's kind of a healthy investment into themselves, I'd say.
It's not just that, it's also in perimenopause, it's like every 2 years you go up a size. And then you've got to buy a whole new wardrobe. So if you don't
Yeah,
have to go
so
up a
true.
size, you can save yourself money there.
It's a great point. Um,
Um,
yeah, and then in
I listen,
terms of working with
yeah,
you, then I would just also send you a little agreement between ourselves as well, just to see that you're
okay,
happy with that.
very cool. I'm excited.
Yay! Thank you very
What's
much for
the
being open.
story? Yeah, no, I'm so keen. I do have to go. My son needs to
Yeah.
get to the airport. He's actually flying back to South Africa tonight.
Oh,
Um, but so next steps, you're going to send me something.
yes. I'll email you
Okay,
some next steps. There'll be a little form, a little bit of admin to
okay.
do, and then we'll just
I will
check in
do
another
it.
call and go from there, if
Yes,
that's all right with you.
and I'll do it. I will stop making silly mistakes
No,
and
you're absolutely
missing things.
fine. Thank you very much, Taryn.
Cool. Nice to meet you, Liz.
You too, and we'll speak
Thanks.
later. Have a
Yeah.
great.
See
Hope
you.
your boy gets off okay at the airport.
I'm sure you will. Thanks. Have a good day. See you, Liz.
Thank you. Bye
Bye.
bye.